Yo, what's up, everyone? I'm Reptile, and I'm joined by Synergistic,
Hi, everybody.
and we're bringing another episode of Mystery Commander Theater 100, Part 2, the fallout from the last one that we posted. So, similar decks, everyone's coming back. Uro's the champion, and we have the 3 feature decks. So, let's just get back into it. You guys know what's going on. So, look at the opening hands, see if anything changes, anything a little better. Looking worse, honestly, from my perspective. I have this hand, which already isn't great, and I mulled down to 5, so not looking great. I'm looking at turn 2, hopefully get a Soul Ring, something like that, maybe. Bad Kitty, mulls the Pack of Negation, a little inside joke if you've kind of seen Bad Kitty and Pack of Negation in the past. Synergist, want to tell us about Uro?
Yeah, so our Shelly's playing Uro again. Actually, really strong hand. Has a Dork, has way to draw. With a Jitaxis Probe, Mana Crypt, which will, it's kind of good ramp. And then we have on games just returning with pretty similar hand to the previous one. Some sort of tutor for Thassas, Guild Drake again, a couple lands. So pretty good hand on the slower side, but I think we'll get him there.
Also, considering that everyone gets to see what everyone mulled down to, knowing that I mulled down to 5, Bad Kitty mulled down to 6, Arch Jelly keeps a 7, that's kind of scary, but it happens. I am going first, so I will just start off with the classic Plains Pass.
Classic Plains Pass, followed by Commander Pass, Command Tower Pass.
No, someone has to be a little extra, go for a fetch. Go get the Tropical Island, and we did see Arch Jelly's hand, so we know it's going to be more than just, land pass.
Yeah, it'll be the Elf.
Elf, Mana Crypt, a Free Gataxian Probe. You really get to go off.
Yeah, so actually, I know, just by looking at this, he actually doesn't play the Mana Crypt right away, which it's, it makes sense because he doesn't want to, bolt himself essentially, but he's also against a Stax deck, which could prevent him from playing multiple spells a turn. And there's also Stony Silence now.
And Stony Silence also hit the board, so now it would just be a detriment.
Yeah, so, heads up kind of play, a little risky, right? Because then you can't play it, essentially. Nice top deck on your part.
Yeah, it's almost a bet on, am I going to run into the artifact hate, or am I going to run into the multiple spells per turn hate? Because you never just want to play a Mana Crypt as your turn and then pass, so.
Yeah, it looks like Bad Kitty just play with Mountain Pass. Arch Shelly's going for the play Blast Zone into Dryad of the Elysian Grove, and game playing a Blue Delta from his additional land for turn. Onto on game's turn, upkeep, we'll play. So here's where we make the mistake. Duff is a double black, and obviously on game's hand had the Mana Confluence from his opening hands. He just played a little fast, forgot about that land. Does not change the outcome of the game. Yeah,
but one that nonetheless, and actually when I think about it, the life would have been lost anyway.
Yeah,
it really was.
It's the same play. Yeah.
Just wrong one down. I have the Stony Silence in play. That was one of my top decks, so it honestly, it was great to see because my hand was looking terrible. But with this Dryad of the Elysian Grove, I was hoping Arch Jelly, because I know he's going to be fetching a ton. And in the last video, you saw a ton of fetches, and I was hungry for this. So I thought Archivist of Ogma would be great, and Dryad of the Elysian Grove, just tap it for mana, don't fetch, who cares? Save it for when you need it. Okay, this is really going downhill quick.
Yeah, well, it's also like we just saw a Phyrexian Metamorph, 3 mana, 2 life, to copy 1/1 Mana Dork.
Oh, the Elvish Mystic. Yeah, I think when we were reviewing this, we were talking about this is on par with Gilded Draking the Ragavan from the last game with the artifact hate up.
Yeah, it is.
Here comes the probe, though.
Yeah, so
pretty
you get
late
that.
Probe. Sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
yeah.
you're
What do you
good.
think about this probe?
Targeting the player that can potentially combo off with the amount of lands he has. So I think it's a good pick.
That's fair, and also not really affected too much by the stacks that I'm putting down. Really able to get through them, so you're really worried about someone else winning. Uro comes out again, more triggers, and we'll see how this goes. If it's going to be another one of those really long editing sessions of triggers.
Yeah, we know if Uro solves more than 3 times or twice, that game is usually wrapped up and ready to go on the Uro on the other side. So on games goes for Burning Catacombs. Here you flash your Archivist Okma. So
I get my draw and I get my life. Feels great.
You can stop complaining now. And then he goes for the Ristic Study.
Oh, Ristic Study. That's even better because I get to avoid the Ristic Study, respond to it on the cast, and not have to pay the 1 and give someone a card. So looks good. I got the flashy foiled Pringled version of the Archivist Logma too.
I was gonna say I can see the Pringle from here.
You can see right in the middle where it's Pringled. Yeah, love it. I did not draw my 3rd land, so I just went with a Blind Obedience, just playing out what I could. Yeah, creatures entering the battlefield tap might be relevant, possibly.
You have to draw another card from Archivist Okma. Obviously, you weren't able to pay that 1 for the Ristic Study, so on games got drew his card. Yes. See what Bad Kitty does with his turn. As he has 5 mana available to him. Goes for the Volcanic.
Yeah, and at this point, Bad Kitty does have, you know, in hindsight, not being able to use the artifacts or do anything, which is it is centralized around. Maybe getting the elf to get your commanders out, get your draw engines going. Yeah, not too bad, but it shows the state of the game.
Yeah, gets to keep on games a card from the Ristic Study, so that's 2 cards, Ristics drawn, and then he goes to combat, triggers his commander, starts doing some coin flip or die rolls instead.
Oh, and he did not actually, Bad Kitty did not attack. It was just Blind Obedience, causing it to enter tapped.
Yep.
So. It did look like he went to combat and swung at me.
Haste. Yeah, no, there's no haste. Just
screw your stacks.
So yeah, Royal Mental will come in tap with the same effect with the Blind Obedience. Could not pay for the Ristic Study, so on games gets to draw. The landfall trigger. So Gilded Drake on crack. I think that's the words to describe it.
Yes, until it dies, and then it gives everything back. But, you know, it's able to take more things, so really good if there's no removal, because every creature is yours in a landfall deck like this. So.
Yeah, so another landfall triggers. He gets to play 2 a turn.
Gets to take my Pringle away, because I assume you don't want the 3 wizard.
The only other relevant creature in the battlefield.
Yeah. So here, looking like Art Shelley, you know, has a really commanding position. Okaun's gonna draw him cards, and we get a Vamp tutor here on the upkeep. So,
yep.
Whenever I see this, I'm scared.
Luckily, you know, Okma gets to draw him cards because that's fetched into the library. So, for the Mana Confluence, which we knew he had in hand, and then goes for the.
And you guys know what's coming. There's no suspense. Yeah. It's Dimir. All right. No interaction. There is 2 mana available on Archjelly's board. So mana drain, things like that are there, but sometimes you just gotta take it. Name Siege Rhino. What a great card.
What a card. Definitely not gonna hit it in the deck. So so you know, Thassa's it's pretty stories all has time. I think it's the same. Tales all has time, actually. You know, Thassa's Demonic Consultation will just win you the game. Same kind of effect from previous games that we've kind of seen Thassa's be played on.
Agreed, yeah, where it really just takes the game, and yeah, say thassa'soracle and Demonic Consultation wasn't a factor there. How do you think the rest of the game would have went up, though?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, I think you were kind of out of the game.
Yeah, it was pretty commanding from Uro.
Yeah, Uro was gonna get ahead pretty quickly if it wasn't dealt with. So, you know, I think if on games didn't win, Archjelly was certainly gonna be in a very commanding position, or maybe Bad Kitty could have stormed off, or do some coin flip shenanigans. I just don't think Adeline was in a good position just based on your draws and your hand.
Agreed. Yeah, I was really fighting back from something. I did have a Rule of Law in my hand, but I did not hit my land drops or any mana to cast it. That would have helped us, but sometimes it's unfortunate. I went first, I got a couple draws, and I still didn't hit them, so yeah. It's the way the game plays. The game we play.
And, not to put Adeline down, because we were doing some play testing the night before, and Adeline was kind of winning every game we were playing, so it's it just gets bad draws once in a while. It just kind of happens. That's just on par with what happens in games.
Yeah, bad draws, bad matchups, and if anything, I kind of like to see it in these scenarios, because it even if it didn't win, I think the first game was a lot more. The second game was just, you know, I tried my best to even play the game, but that was tough on its own.
Yeah, looks like Toxrill kind of has the same play line. So it's a Demir deck, right? So he goes for that, you know, your tutoring to your Thassa's demonic gameplay. It's just it's very, you know, cookie cutter, those kind of colors.
Well, also having an additional win con in the command zone, I think that's one thing that separates it. Is Toxrill is such a commanding presence that it's able to, if the demonic consultation and thassa'soracle fails, then you're able to just win through, you know, standard. Just beating people down. Just luck.
The best part about this gameplay, though, was that down goes Uro. Down goes Uro, boys. Don't have to see the fucking deck again. God bless.
Don't have to see the triggers again.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoy putting Toxrill counters on everything, each upkeep.
As long as I don't have to see Uro. But yep, so Toxrill won the latest game. We'll be seeing Toxrill make a return. But yeah, any closing thoughts, Reptile, before we wrap it up?
All in all, no, not really. I wish Adeline could have had a better performance in this one, but the previous game, I think, even if I didn't win, it got to show some of its resilience and its control. So I enjoyed the deck overall, and maybe you'll see it back in some spell table games. So
yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to, you know, give us a like, a subscribe. Any, you know, comments are welcome. Any, you know, feedback is welcome. Don't forget to join our Discord if you want to get some games of Commander with us. Looking forward to play with different people in Spell Table, you know, maybe feature some decks on that kind of gameplay. But with that, thanks everybody for watching. Stay basic, everybody.
Stay basic.